Tim McGraw fell for Faith Hill in an instant when he first met her in 1994, but it wasn't until 2 years later that the two started dating. The country stars first crossed paths at the country radio seminar in Nashville in the spring of 1994. Both were in relationships at the time, McGraw with Christine Donahue and Hill engaged to Scott Hendricks. However, 2 years later, when Hill joined McGraw on his Spontaneous Combustion tour in 1996, the two fell in love. "We were young and silly and goo-goo-eyed in love," McGraw later told People. Within the year, the two were engaged and married and expecting a baby shortly after. Now, McGraw and Hill have been together for over a quarter of a century and share 3 daughters, Gracie, Maggie and Audrey. The family share a close bond, and McGraw has often credited Hill for being his rock, especially for helping him stay sober after he felt he had an unhealthy relationship with alcohol. "My wife always says, 'You're not scared of anything.' I say, 'One thing. I'm looking at it right now,'" he told Esquire in 2021. "I didn't know love could feel so good. Was it an emotion? Was it a lifestyle? Was it an imaginary thing? But love is all of those things." So how did Tim McGraw and Faith Hill's romance begin? Here's everything to know about how the two first met and their love since. McGraw and Hill first crossed paths at a show in Nashville. McGraw and Hill were both at a country radio seminar showcase for new talent in Nashville when they met. They took their first picture ever together that day backstage of the New Faces show, McGraw wrote in a 27th wedding anniversary tribute to his wife in October 2023. McGraw shared on the Bobby Bones show that his girlfriend at the time said she didn't know if she wanted the singer to say hi to Hill anymore, explaining that she saw immediately that the two had a spark. The first time McGraw asked Hill out, he came with a bowl of dumplings. McGraw admitted on the Bobby Bones show that it took a bunch of times to get Hill to go out with him, but the most memorable time was the first time he legit asked her, Hill said. "You brought me chicken and dumplings, you came to my house, you didn't announce that you were coming," Hill shared on the show, turning to McGraw. "Knocked on my door, opened my door, and he had a bowl of homemade chicken and dumplings, and he said, 'I made these myself, they're homemade from scratch.'" She added that the bowl was covered by aluminum foil, and he had both a spoon and a fork on top, telling her that he didn't know if she liked to eat her dumplings with which utensil, so he brought both. "Hey, look, you make up for your inadequacies," McGraw joked. They reconnected when Hill joined him on tour after their first meeting. The two country stars reunited in 1996 when Hill joined McGraw on his Spontaneous Combustion tour. Hill was still engaged at the time, but she and McGraw eventually split from their partners and got together. "If someone is going to judge my character because I was engaged to somebody and then I left him for somebody else, I can't control that," Hill told People in 1998. "But I wasn't about to let Tim slip through my hands." Both shared later on the Bobby Bones show that their first official date was at a concert. Hill was initially hesitant to get engaged.